What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome in to CHGO Bulls postgame. Coming to you from Penthouse Suite 79. Right here in the madhouse. Right here in the madhouse.
In the madhouse.
My goodness.
The house is mad.
Thanks y'all for being here. I'm Peck, Bulls_Peck. This is my guy, Big Dave. Bam. PAWL Sports. That is four-time champ Uncle Will Perdue. Will_Perdue 32 in the building.
Where'd the ring go?
The one and only queen of controls, KDW, hanging out with us here. Also, shout out to Emma, Steven, Patrick, the rest of our CHGO crew, moving them wheels tonight with us. And shout out to everybody who came out with us tonight for this CHGO Top Shelf event. Especially shout out to those of you still hanging out late night for the post-game show. Shout out to all of you guys.
Briscoe, you see this, right? Oh,
he's got to put the ring on.
Precious. Oh, I am activated. Oh, Will Perdue just handed me his.
You guys are the Wonder
ring.
Twins.
See, you can say that because you got 4 of these. So you can say those things. Derrick Rose Night.
Man.
What a night. Dude, what a night.
It was a night.
Dude, what a night.
It was a night.
Can we first talk about the diehards that showed up and hung out with us, man, who are still hanging out with us.
Love these
in the back, y'all. Shout out
still
to
here.
y'all. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us, man. This is absolutely amazing,
Just
man.
spent the whole night gambling with Uncle Will like a bunch of degenerates.
Shout out to my man Patrick who got the win
It
as
doesn't
well.
take you gambling with me to be a degenerate. So this is
fair enough.
Yo, man.
I
think
think we need to point out we've got people that flew in from Ireland,
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Atlanta,
Yes.
where you were Matt, you were telling me
Briscoe, you flew in from DC?
DC.
Yep. We got our people who are from Nebraska. They're here, but they're from Nebraska. Shout out.
Shout out to the Nebraska
crew. Shout out.
That's die hard right there.
Die hard.
Derrick Rose draws a crowd.
He draws the crowd. And CHGO, they came to hang out with us, man.
Right.
I can't believe that.
Shocking.
Shocking.
Truly shocking.
Incredibly shocking. But thank y'all for being here, man.
Truly.
In Atlanta as well. Can't forget my man Dave over there. Atlanta flew in also, man. So, yes. They came in from everywhere just for this event right here to hang out with us and, most importantly, to watch the D Rose Night. What a night, man. I had so much fun, dude. I really did have a ball.
I couldn't tell.
You couldn't?
No.
I'll show you video. I promise you. I got video of it.
I'm not even upset by that victory.
What?
No,
what?
It's no secret what I want to have happen this season, y'all. But on Derrick Rose Night out there, and let me tell you, that third quarter in particular, because this was a tight game in the first quarter or first half, back and forth. The Bulls won the third quarter 41-17.
They did.
And I wonder if it had anything to do with what those guys all watched happen at halftime.
I think it did. I think it absolutely did, man. They understood. When is the last time they're going to be in a packed out stadium like this? I know that, the Bulls have, pretty good attendance, numbers. They're usually top 3, top 5 like that. Charts. But to have it like packed and sold out like it was tonight and the feeling that you had tonight, it just felt different tonight, man, for them. So they understood in that third quarter after watching Derrick Rose and that ceremony, they knew what they had to come out and do, Will Perdue. Now, is it like that? Like you obviously played during it. Is it like that for you when you see something like that happen on the floor at halftime? Does that, put a little more energy in the guys when they're coming out in the third?
Yeah, because it's inspirational. It's as simple as that. And hopefully everybody that's watching had the opportunity to watch that speech, whether it was live or, on social, whatever it may be, right?
Yeah.
But when he talked about, it was basically a message to his son about be great.
Yeah, yeah, bro.
So that's the whole thing about, and listen, I'm going to be very honest here. This is what is so aggravating about this team.
Talk to me.
is you can do what you did on Wednesday against Washington and then come out and do this against one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. Now, I understand it's the second game of a back-to-back. New York played OKC last night.
Played a lot of minutes, too.
Right.
Well, tips.
But you got to remember, though, you saw who led most of the game until Chicago made that run late in the third. New York.
Yeah.
And they really – you kind of got that feeling that they were just going to kind of hang around. It would be a respectable game. A lot of the guys in the suite, were just like, well, at least beat the spread for us, will you? But then they made that push, and you're like, okay, this is what we know this team can do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's so befuddling about what exactly are we doing. But I just wanted to voice that, but I've elected to put that aside because it was such a great night because what it meant to the fans. I mean, this is a perfect example. Ireland, Atlanta, Washington, spent the money to come up here, which we're very grateful for, and we really appreciate it. Took the time to, come here to be a part of this.
Yeah.
Now you get another opportunity a year from now to do it again.
Yeah.
But it was just
Derrick Rose part 2.
It was a big night for the fans because this was kind of, as they talked about and Stacey talked about and Joe talked about, he's one of the most humble. And I call him a superstar because of the short time period that he played and was healthy. He was a superstar.
He was a superstar. No question.
But he's one of the humblest guys that I've ever met. Mm. Like when we had that luncheon today with former players.
Flex.
I mean,
super flex.
Derrick literally took the time to go around the room and talk to everybody. And I mean, there were, 200 people there. Take photos, thank people.
200 people came, and you couldn't get us an invite, Will?
Just one, Will.
Come on.
That's it, man.
Well, I basically was told if I bring you guys, I can't come.
See? He's embarrassed by us. I
believe that.
That's
I genuinely believe
that's fair. I don't know if you have a salmon-colored jacket like this either.
I do not.
Okay, all right. Yeah, we couldn't get it.
I have one, and it's gray.
I've seen it, too. And you look amazing in it. That three-piece joint?
Yeah,
that joint
is
nice,
it gray
bro.
because it's gray or it's gray because it's dirty?
Oh, that Will Perdue money must be nice.
Yes.
Oh, come on, man.
And yes. Because I wore it out on New Year's Eve, and who's got the time to go to the dry cleaner every week?
I got video. I got photos. I'll show you. I promise. I got you.
But it's just to kind of sum this up, it's just that's why you see the talent that this team has. And remember, I said this at the beginning of the year that if they can make the right trades and push the right buttons, this team can get really good really quick. Now, this was an anomaly because you shoot 50-some-odd% from behind the three-point line. Kobe goes 9 of 11.
9 of 11 is crazy.
But you have those weapons at your disposal.
Yeah.
And whether it's the Bulls, the Knicks, the Boston Celtics, the Milwaukee Bucks, what are they all looking for? Consistency. Because you've seen Milwaukee goes and wins the cup, but how have they played since then? Now, they've been dealing with some sickness and some injuries, but
they lost tonight.
Yeah. So think about their last 2 losses against 2 teams that are tanking.
Yeah.
They've lost to Brooklyn 3 times this year already. Now they just lost to Portland.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
It's like a rudderless ship.
Yeah.
With a team that has too much talent. And I haven't looked, so I don't know if Dame played, if Giannis played. It doesn't matter. They still have too much talent to be losing those games. So that's why, Milwaukee's frustrated. We as Bulls fans are because, we have too much talent to be losing to the Washington Wizards. But then you show the talent by beating the Knicks. But I think overall it was just an enjoyable game to watch. It was fun.
Yeah.
We usually see this against the better teams.
Yes.
So they've lived up to their reputation that they play up or down.
They play up
to the competition.
Or they play down because they're always mid.
Just had this conversation.
And they play up and they play down. Like, they shot poorly. They turned the ball over a ton. And they played 0 defense in that loss to the Wizards the other night. Tonight, they play with the pace like we've seen them do all season long. They do it efficiently. Like, that third quarter, they were playing. They were, shout out to our guy Sabine, 100 miles an hour. Like, that Bulls offense was humming in transition, finding open guys around the perimeter, finding guys for oops, for transition buckets.
Yeah.
When they do that to the peak of their ability, they're a damn dangerous offensive team.
Yeah, and a fun team.
And a fun team. And they also showed us some things on defense tonight.
Yeah, without a doubt, man. And it was fun to watch. Like, I
get his
put more
triple-double?
emphasis on that. I don't think he did. 15 points, 10
I
rebounds.
would have heard about it by now from
assists.
somebody.
He would have been tagged on it a million times.
Precious triple doubles.
He had 8 assists, man, 10 rebounds, and 15 points, and couldn't get in the fourth quarter. But still, that didn't matter. He played really well.
Because Billy wanted to win?
What? What? He won't do that? But yeah, man, like, you know who I'm going to get on later. But it's so easy. Not yet. I'm not going to do it yet. This ring is just, oh, my God. This is amazing. But, yeah, man, like, the Bulls can be fun on those nights. And earlier, we just had a conversation, you know, with our guy, Briscoe. You know, shout out Bulls on Tap as well. Shout out Miss Melissa. But we were having that same conversation about the Bulls playing down to the competition or playing up to your competition. Sometimes, you know, when they play Cleveland, they look amazing in those games. When they play Boston, they actually, like you said, beat the Boston Celtics. Then they have a game like the Wizards, and it's like, what the hell is going on? And then they had a game against Charlotte, back-to-back games where they set the record and then tied their own record for attempts made, you know, as far as attempts taken as far as three-point shots. Like, they were just really bad. We don't understand why it's like that with this team, but this is exactly who they are. That third quarter, though, Will, you saw the effort.
Yeah.
And we yelled about them not having that effort in Washington, how they just kind of walked out like they were really that kind of squad. But they came out with actual effort in that third and fourth quarter. They had one of their best defensive possessions in that fourth quarter that I had seen all season long against those Knicks.
So can somebody tell me, I was trying to do the numbers in my head, but basically from the middle of the third to the middle of the fourth, what was that run by the Bulls? Because they took a 4-point deficit to what, a 19-point lead? What was the largest lead?
Largest lead.
I think it was 19.
Yeah.
So they basically had a 23-point turnaround.
Crazy.
Because they're basically their deficit most of the night was between 4 and 5 points, right?
Yeah.
It got to like 8 or 9, and then they'd knock down a couple shots and get it to back within basically 2 possessions.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's just in the blink of an eye, it flipped.
Yeah. Immediately.
But that's also indicative of this team's reaction and how they play is relative to how they shoot the basketball and how they do on the offensive end of the floor.
And that's what Billy said after the Washington loss. He said tonight was again a night, and it's happened before, when our outside shot isn't falling, everything else around that falls apart.
Yeah.
The defense falls apart. The finding other ways to score, the aggression to the basket, all of it falls apart.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's people always say, especially in this last decade of NBA basketball that is so predicated on three-point shooting, live by the three, die by the three.
Yeah.
There are different ways that you can interpret what that means.
Yeah.
And I think the Bulls fall victim sometimes to the very worst versions of that. And on nights when they shoot above 50%, and like the Bulls didn't jack a lot tonight.
They did.
What did they take? 37? 20 of 37,
which is a slow night.
That's a slow night. The Bulls have been averaging 40. I think October it was like 44.
Yeah.
November they averaged 42 attempts. December they averaged 46. So
It's
37
insane.
is 10 fewer than they averaged last month.
How many assists tonight?
Team assists. Shout out Jim Boylan. 36.
How dare you?
36
team assists
on 51 made field
But
goals.
what does that tell you though? The quality of the shots.
Yeah.
Quality
the
of the
patience,
shots.
the discipline.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's a focus. I'm not saying that this team's not focused, but that's when you go into a game focusing on doing that and play with the discipline to continue to do that, and you make that extra pass, right? And that's the other thing. How often do you get that many open looks against the New York Knicks? Like uncontested. There were times on offense where it was like an offensive exhibition to where you would have thought that they were in a drill where, you know, advance the ball as quick as you can.
Yeah.
Don't catch and hold, catch and move, catch and move, catch and move. And it was like, they were putting on a clinic at times about how they run their offense. Now, they weren't necessarily, you know, cutting and moving But the fact of how they were moving the basketball to force the Knicks to try to catch up, they weren't putting the ball on the deck a lot. There wasn't a lot of unwasted dribbles where you went nowhere.
That's a fact.
And you just took, precious time off the shot clock.
Yeah.
They were pushing the pace, but that's the one thing I've always talked about the best teams do. They push the pace, but the discipline they have, just because they push the pace doesn't mean you have to take a quick shot. If you don't have it, you pull it out and you move the ball because the defense is already scrambling and there's a mismatch because you push the pace.
Yes, sir.
Because when you push the pace, the rule of a defense is just take the closest man to you. Don't run to your man. Because why would you run to your man and then leave this guy open? Right?
Makes sense.
It's kind of like a fire drill. At that point, you cross half court and you find an open man and you stick to him.
Yeah.
Maybe a guard, so I'm a bigs guard and a guard.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing. They recognize the mismatches. Put guys, on a string and get paint touch kick. But then to the wing, to the guy in the baseline. And the defense just, it can't keep up.
To the windows, to the walls.
Man, get out my brain. I was thinking the same thing. Bro, I was about to say that. I literally was about to say that. We share a brain.
Of course.
We share a brain.
If that's all you share, that's all I want to know.
That's it.
Let's put a quick pause.
We're not sharing this.
In that conversation, we will continue on with more post-game, reacting to the Bulls' big win over the Knicks, reacting to Derrick Rose Night. Hopefully, our guy, Gottlieb, will come up from the bowels of the UC later on and join us, hear what he had to say from everybody involved in tonight's post-game media. Yeah, that's what you refer to like the undertunnels of a stadium.
Yes.
No?
It's good.
The young people need to learn, Dave.
It's true. Shout out Champagne and shout out Ireland.
Shout out and shout out.
Shout out.
Hit the like button while we are sharing you these words from our friends and sponsors, wouldn't you? Let's go.
Wouldn't you?
Post-game tonight. It is a Sunnyside post-game show, Dave.
My favorite time.
I love me a Sunnyside post-game.
Who doesn't?
Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary is here.
I think Dave might have already snuck a few of those.
Elevate.
Sneak. I ain't got to sneak.
Sneak. When Dave walks through the doors of the Madhouse, he is gifted such products by the staff of the United Center.
It's fair.
What's the saying? He was popping those things like chiclets.
That's why I can't hang out with Will Perdue, man. But I'll continue to because he gave me this.
Obviously. Sunnyside is here to help elevate your bitter cold winter, Chicago. That temp is dropping, but Sunnyside has you covered. It's your home for judgment-free cannabis shopping. A crazy selection. I'm talking over 100 different strains to choose from, offering easy online ordering and scoop in-store pickup. Stop into the store nearest you throughout Illinois for expert guidance from their staff and select from quality brands like Cresco and Florical. Also, for a limited time, you got to check out those Island Vibes. Available in disposable vapes, 510 cards, and live resin gummies.
Yeah,
Good news, Island Vibes for next level staycations like this guy. Good news, Island Vibes, destination relaxation. Thinking of warmer temperatures. Puff Puff Paradise. Check it out. Visit Sunnyside.shop for price buys every day, including getting 50% off your first 3 online purchases when you use promo code HICHGO at checkout. Again, that's promo code HICHGO at checkout for 50% off your first 3 purchases. At Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary, exclusions apply. Bright buys every day, only for 21 and over, and Illinois Med Card holders.
And we are also sponsored by the Chicago Sports Network, the new home of the Blackhawks, Bulls, and White Sox games. CHSN will broadcast more than 300 live games per year across the Blackhawks, Bulls, and White Sox, and will feature a full lineup of original Chicago-focused sports content. They are Chicago-based, they are Chicago-built, and they are Chicago to the bone. And they're bringing it to every corner of Chicago across our beautiful 77 neighborhoods and beyond. At CHSN, Chicago comes first. Visit CHSN.com for more info on how to watch the Bulls, Hawks, and Sox games all season long. And after you watch those games, tune into the post-game shows of those 3 teams right here at CHGO.
Bada bing, bada boom. Going along here. CHGO post-game from Penthouse.
I got the ring, let's go.
Big Dave's got the 3P ring on. Uncle Will hanging out.
They tell me nothing.
Big Dave hanging out with our Top Shelf Takeover attendees, hanging out with us late night.
All these cool people back here.
I mean,
man.
what a Saturday night.
This is amazing.
This is so much fun.
Shout out him over there.
So Coby White busted out of his slump pretty convincingly tonight.
He ruined my gambling tonight. Thanks a lot, Coby White.
This is why you don't gamble.
This is why.
This is why.
This is why.
What do you take the over under on his point total? Or?
No, man. Like the card game, he played
the quarter game.
He ruined it in 2 quarters.
He cost him in the first quarter and the third quarter.
And then he hit that 3 in that third quarter. But it's okay because the people who won were literally sitting next to me.
I was gonna say
one on this side,
also,
one on this side. Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out.
I did not participate. I was gonna feel real sheepish if you won one of those things. That was Uncle Will's idea.
No, I wasn't supposed to win because I was gonna talk so much trash if I won that, and I would have thrown money at Will for gas or something like that. Like, give me your ring. Like,
are you going to make it rain?
Oh, Will. I'm going to be like, give me your ring. Toss it up in the air. Let it rain on you, Will. I wasn't supposed to win that, but I'm so happy my people showed up and they won as well, man. So congratulations to them.
So
man.
You're a catalyst.
Yes.
Facilitator.
Yeah. I'm actually an atheist. No, I'm joking. These are jokes. These are jokes.
So, love it.
You didn't like that, Katie? You didn't like it?
I thought it was funny.
Thank you, Matt. That's all that matters because Katie doesn't think anything I say is funny. It's okay.
We're still trying to find this girl's sense of humor.
Oh, it doesn't exist.
Most
Why
of
do you
the
think I call
time,
it Katie No Fun?
I have one. I just don't have one when it comes to you two because you're not funny.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
I think Uncle Will is
People
hilarious.
who enjoy us will say you're wrong. Will absolutely say you're wrong.
I think
Katie.
Will Perdue is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Uncle Will is hilarious. Okay, so look, I'm glad that Coby had an insanely hot shooting night tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to lie. I was just as happy, if not more so, that Zach LaVine balled out tonight.
Man, he got down.
You probably know why. But I mean, 33 points. You know, he matched Coby point for point. Very efficient, 13 of 21 from the field.
Yes.
I also loved Zach's 7 assist to 2 turnover ratio tonight, finding those opportunities to be a playmaker for his teammates and keeping the turnovers down, especially after that horrible turnover night the team suffered against Washington. This is a game, and you were talking about it a little bit in pregame, Dave, like, this is a game that the entire NBA world was going to be tuning into.
Yeah,
NBA TV had coverage of this game tonight.
They did.
Because it was Derrick Rose night.
It was.
And the NBA world loves some Derrick Rose content. Rightly so.
Like we all do.
There's been, you know, so like after the holidays, it got a little quiet. Or like during the holidays, it got quiet. NBA Trade Talk's picking up again.
Yeah.
We are now at January, what's today? 4th? Yes, 1/4/25, D Rose night. A month and 2 days from now, that NBA trade deadline. I'm not saying that Derrick Rose night is about Zach LaVine's trade value. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
I am just saying, in front of a bigger audience than usual, even if it's not for the sake of the Bulls and Zach's trade market, for the sake of Zach LaVine being respected the way he should be, to the level he should be, by NBA people, media, fans alike, I am glad that Zach LaVine had a kind of game like he had tonight.
Zach had a 60, 50, 100 night. That's insane. Like, and he started it in that second quarter because when I was talking to my man Patrick, I kept telling him, like, hey, man, in that second quarter, when it's about 5 minutes to go, Zach LaVine is going to start getting his shots and he's going to start doing his thing. And that's exactly what happened. Like, he starts bringing the ball up the floor and he started taking all of the shots, but they were all rhythm shots. They weren't forced. It was like he let the game come to him. Something we had complained about him for years about just forcing it, and why he would dribble off his foot, why he would step out on the out of bounds line all the time, why he would throw that shot into the ocean.
It physically pains me when you bring up the examples specifically,
because that's what we watched. We saw it, and we don't really see any of that anymore. We don't look at that anymore with Zach LaVine. Like, he was absolutely amazing. 33 points, 7 assists. Because he's definitely been passing the ball more. The 4 rebounds, the steal that he had, but 13 of 21 from the field. I like the fact that he was 3 of 6.
How many turnovers
from the 3-point line also as well. Dose, Will. Dose. I wish I could have threw it up with this. But dose. 2 of them, Will. He had 2 turnovers, man. Like, he was absolutely awesome. He was a +7, but regardless of that, he took over the game in that second, and it bled into the rest of the game as far as the third quarter and that fourth quarter. And it bled into him playing his defense like he was as well. His facilitation was up also tonight. He felt what was going on. He understood what was happening tonight as far as it being D Rose night. He knew CHGO was here with the diehards. He knew what was happening.
Matt Peck was in the building.
Oh, he knew it. He was like, Peck here? We know this is a once in a lifetime thing.
About
It's time to ball
30 minutes until that boycott comes back.
He knew what was happening, and he felt the moment. And you're absolutely right, Matt, because the fact that more of an audience got to see this makes me more excited.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me very happy. So Zach LaVine understanding the moment and then shining in that moment was just amazing and fun to see him do.
This is one of the things I've always said about Zach is we know he has the ability to do this.
Yeah.
Okay. But this kind of goes back to the Derrick Rose halftime speech.
Yes, sir.
About being great.
Yes, sir.
Cheers.
Because it's kind of interesting. There's a lot of discussion about how the game is played now compared to how it was played. And, I kind of look at it as you have some really, really, really good basketball players in this league, great players.
Quite a few.
But one of the things I've talked about and shared is I think you have more athletes that are playing basketball instead of basketball players playing basketball.
Explain that, Will.
So what I mean by that is and I've had this discussion with more than one coach throughout the league, just running into guys periodically. And one of the coaches said, these guys are such good athletes. If at a younger age they decided to play football instead of basketball, they'd probably be in the NFL.
Okay.
All right. They decided to play baseball instead of basketball, they'd be in the major leagues because they're just that good. They can adapt that quickly. And because of how everything is specialized, but because they decided to go into basketball, they're really good basketball players. Okay. We don't question Zach's work ethic. We've seen the videos. We know how hard he works.
Right.
Unfortunately, he's just had some really freaky injuries, timing, but, it not because of something he didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
Right. What Zach has to decide is just how good does he really want to be?
Mm-hmm.
Is he okay with just, being a 4 or 5-time All-Star? And then just unfortunately,
he's still got 2 or 3 more to go. If that's when he's okay with being just that, he's at 2 right now.
No, but that's my point, though.
Yeah,
I mean, that was an all-star performance. Okay.
Yeah.
And if he puts that up on a team with a winning record, it's on national television.
Mm-hmm.
He's top 3 or 4 in all-star voting.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you think about it, Zach probably he had the most notoriety when he was doing the dunk contest.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much for how he was playing.
So how most of the league refers to him.
Right. But go back and look at the numbers when he was in the dunk contest. He was still putting up numbers.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, because, this organization and these teams over the last couple of years have been mediocre.
Mm.
I mean, what are we getting? 1, maybe 2 national games a year?
About that.
Right.
If you're lucky.
So, and because of, what's going on with the Xfinity thing right now,
right?
Not a lot of people can see these games.
Yeah, true.
Now, some of our, out of town visitors here, they talk about how they have league pass. So you can watch that.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a flex.
Not blacked out for out of towners.
Yeah, that's correct.
Congratulations, by the way. He's like, yes.
But that's where I talk about he's got to decide whether he wants to take the next step or not.
Yeah.
I think he has the tools to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. But now it's just, we always mention that word sacrifice. Is he willing to make the necessary sacrifices to get to that next level? Okay. And what probably the best thing I heard about the Derrick Rose speech was how he talked about being who he was and doing what he did created a lot of hate from other people.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Right.
Ooh.
So you have to ask the question, are you willing as an individual, are you willing to put yourself in a position to take that? And how Derrick talked about how he didn't even recognize it, but trying to be great, the Chicago fans pushed him to be great.
That's true.
Yeah.
They did.
Well, because every night that we saw him do something spectacular, we came in, or I'm saying we, and I'm meaning I, but I believe we tuned on the next game the next night and was like, do that again. or show me something different and crazier. And I will continue to not believe my eyes as I'm watching you do these things, but I want to see more.
Yeah.
No, and you guys,
so in that way, we did, like, Bulls fans did kind of demand that level of greatness from
but
Derrick.
you guys talked about it in the pregame about how just even the reactions from the broadcasters when they were doing national games. Of just how spectacular what he was doing was, you could tell by, even if you weren't watching, just listening with your eyes closed, about the reactions and the chain of tones in their voices, just about how they're amazed at what's in front of them. And these broadcasters are guys that are watching the best teams every single night, right? Because you try to put the best games on
they're
television.
doing all the good teams and all the primetime slots.
Right.
They are.
So that's why I'm, a lot of people say I'm hard on Zach, because I have higher expectations for him than maybe he has for himself.
Oh, you better hit that bar, Will Perdue.
Because I think that he has the ability to get there, but he's got work to do. Right. And it's just it's a difficult level to attain. But it's even more of a difficult thing to do to maintain.
This man's spitting over here.
Because you don't what you want to see. I don't expect him to do this every single night. But I expect to see him do this 9 out of 10 games.
Correct. When you're that guy, that's what you want to see.
And I mean,
expect to see.
And it's not 9 out of 10, but I believe this is, and he had a similar streak like on the front side of the holidays, but third 30-point game in four games. So like he's starting to show people and remind people like he can't be that player.
What was the other thing though that makes you talk about complete was, I witnessed it. We've talked about it. When he truly focuses on his defense, I don't want to say he's great, but he's better than average.
Exactly.
On this collection of players, give us serviceable.
Serviceable.
We will have who is serviceable. We got to take a break. Speaking of serviceable, products and services from our fine sponsors. It's the player you're going to hear about next.
Peck in effect.
That's what I do.
You guys are in for a treat.
Hit the like button if you didn't do it during the first ad break.
This guy's a veteran.
And make sure you also subscribe to that CHGO Sports YouTube channel if you aren't already. Here's some ads. Dave, we do have a Goon of the Night coming up.
What?
Yeah, we do. Because the Bulls won.
Yes.
Yeah. So before we get the Goon of the Night, we have to hear about the fine people who sponsor Goon of the Night.
Talk to me.
Which is Empire. Yes. With Empire, you get shop at home convenience, the right product for your needs, quick and professional installation, and low price guarantee. Empire Today is the best place to get new flooring, so of course they have wannabe competitors and copycats, but Empire cannot be beaten on quality, on service, or on speed. So all their competitors try to do is advertise basement prices for basement quality flooring. I'm not talking about like the floor you put in your basement. I'm talking about quality is in the basement. No. Empire doesn't even bother to carry some of those lowest priced options because it's flooring that's so crummy they wouldn't put it in their home. They're not going to tell you to put it in yours.
Yes.
Also, be sure to check out their great virtual floor designer, a wonderful tool you can use to see how different flooring options will work in your home. Every room of your home, your bathrooms, your bedrooms, dining room, kitchen, living room, your Derrick Rose memorabilia shrine room. Assuming you have one of those, you probably
my favorite. Yeah,
I mean, right?
I got 3.
I was expecting you to say you got 6.
So fair point.
That's so reasonable.
Yeah,
but you can see which flooring options would look the best in your Derrick Rose shrine room, Dave, with the virtual floor designer from Empire.
And I do.
They also service their own warranties. If any issues do happen to arise, just call Empire. They will take care of it. No tracking down third parties and other manufacturers' phone numbers. Schedule free and don't miss it today. All our CHGO Bulls listeners, bless your hearts, can receive a $350 discount.
What?
When you use promo code CHGO.
How much?
$350, Uncle Will.
Yeah, because I'm got a little work to do.
You got work to do? You got some flooring work to do?
Yeah.
It's all about saving the buck. Yes, sir.
Restrictions apply. See EmpireToday.com/CHGO for details. 588-2300. Katie! Everybody!
Oh,
you know what?
Good call.
That was her best one.
You see how I do that? Yeah.
That was her best one.
You see how I do that?
Well done. Well done.
It's like when you got 3 players on a fast break and they throw the lob, the alley-oop, and then the alley-oop dunker that you expect to be there. It's like, hold on, I see one more trailer come behind me. I'm just going to
boom. It's the diehards. Yep. It's black down. Yeah. Well done. Katie, what's happening?
Game time.
Well done. Well done. Game Time has a new feature, ladies and gentlemen, called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets easier than ever. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste your time searching through thousands of tickets to find the best value. Who wants to do that? Not me. Curation makes it easier to find better value for tickets to your sports, concerts, comedy, theater, the Will Perdue one-man show, anything you want to see. They got it at Game Time, and you will save money on it. Of course, they got the all-in pricing. Of course, they got the lowest price guarantees. Of course, they have you covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. But ladies and gentlemen, oh my God, they have got the seat views. Oh, we need the seat views. We know the seat views, man. We got to have it in here. We need the seat views, man. We got to see where we're sitting. So take that guesswork, ladies and gentlemen, out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use that code CHGO. Get yourself $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Terms apply. That's CHGO. Get yourself $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Terms apply. Download Game Time today. Because all my dollars. What time is it? You know what? Boo! Boo all of you!
Hey!
What's up, Briscoe?
Hey now!
Briscoe!
Hey now!
Boo this! You can do better. We believe in
the
y'all.
United Center, for crying out loud.
Yo!
Hi! Are we live? Wait, he just asked what time it is, and you guys didn't say. Can we try it again? Can we try it again? All right. What time is it? You do it.
You want me to do it?
Yeah.
All right, hit me with it. Say
Randy,
it.
well, Randy Brown's not here, so
3, 2, 1.
What time is it?
Who? There we
That's
go.
better.
That's why she's a
That's
professional.
better.
Oh,
That's why she's a professional, man.
Hey,
look at her.
hi guys.
I've never seen Uncle Will give up his chair for either of us so
Ever.
quickly.
I was just
Ever.
gonna
So
wave
quickly.
hello, and then Will's like line change. So I just, like
not
one of
working
the
today.
Knicks waiting to play in the final minutes of the game,
Oh, that's a
knowing
long
you're
wait.
probably not going to.
Yeah,
If
that's
Tibbs
a
doesn't
long
use his
wait.
bench, I'm like, give me 30 seconds. Give me 30 seconds.
It's not gonna be the case, man.
Like I'm like watching that whole game. I'm like, Tibbs ain't taking a timeout. Shoot as many threes as you want.
That's how he rolls, and you know it, man.
Dude, you knew that was happening. I'm like, he's not going to take a timeout in
Ever.
the third quarter.
Ever.
Like,
The
you're
only
on
reason-
your own.
The only reason he put somebody else in is because Towns got hurt. When Towns got hurt, he was like, okay, all right, fine. I'll
When-
put somebody in.
So I just did post game for the score.
That's
So
nice.
I'm going through the score and I'm like, wait, how many bench players actually? Because for a while he was only rotating 3 in.
Yes.
So I'm like, oh, everybody got to play in the final 2 minutes, huh? Well, would you look at that? Now Tibbs will make sure that they never play for the next month.
Right, that's it. You saw what he did yesterday.
Not,
He played
not
like 40
everybody,
minutes.
because somebody up here was calling for some Javon Carter magic in the final minutes of that one, and they did not get it. Javon, the poor bastard, was. Oh wait, no, he and Duarte were both DNPs.
Oh,
Everybody else got a little taste of that game.
just a small.
Hey, while I have a mic, because Goat's on his way and I'm not going to have it for very long, there's
Okay.
one thing that I wanted to point out with you guys about the
Yes.
Derrick Rose night tonight, and that
Okay.
was Matt Peck's face when he saw Joakim Noah on the Jumbotron tonight.
Goodness.
Because it
Listen,
just warmed my
look
heart.
at it.
It just
Look
really
at it.
warmed my heart, and
Look at it.
I think everybody needs to see it.
Oh
He is
my
nothing
God.
if not consistent.
Oh,
It's an adoration.
he is
The worst
the
kept
king.
secret in Chicago. I have a man crush on my best friend Joakim. Whoop-de-doo.
The focus, though. Like, how focused were you watching that, man?
Very.
Yeah, man. Did you
I
see the
was in the
small tear?
building listening to Joakim talk to a sea of Bulls fans about his brother-in-arms, Derrick Rose.
Yes.
What, do you expect me to not look like that while I'm watching such things unfold?
Did you share a small tear?
I told it to get back up in my face. But
Little
yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
So talk to me about D Rose night. What you experienced? How was it for you?
Yeah, what
Did
was
you
your
guys?
highlight?
What time did you guys get here?
Oh, very early.
Did
Yeah.
you notice the line of
5:15?
people? Like I got here.
We can't
I
Will
tried to
Perdue,
get
so we
in-
don't do lines.
Oh. Well, as somebody who enjoys night in Chicago, I will hang out in a line or two.
Okay.
So I really enjoyed seeing all the people waiting in line, hours before tip off because
Okay.
they wanted to either get merch or they wanted to just be there early to celebrate him.
Sure.
I walked by the D Rose pop up a couple days ago
Oh, the flower
on my
shop.
way to work. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that line was 4 blocks long and across the river. So to me, my favorite part was just seeing how many people were happy to see him and happy to celebrate him.
Yeah.
And like all the Simeon jerseys that they showed in the house, like that was my
that
part. Like, that's the coolest thing to me. So you know, and I'm not being from here, to me, what really always strikes me is the responsibility that he carried.
Yeah.
And so to see that carried on and how he wanted to put that back on Chicago in a way.
Yes.
Really meant a lot to me, because you don't get that exchange in a lot of places.
That's true.
To me, just that exchange of energy and just being here for this, it was a really special event. The Bulls did it really, really well. I don't know how you top this for his jersey retirement next year.
They'll find out. They'll figure it out.
Do it again, and that time a jersey goes
run
upstairs.
it back.
But can we also shout out Luol Deng, because he put together such an incredible team.
Yes.
The South Sudanese team really showed up for the world on an Olympic stage the way they did. And really, that was such a wonderful thing that they were putting together. Royal Ivy is a coach of that team. And so for him to take his time to be here tonight was really meaningful to me.
Yeah. Flew in from another continent.
One of the many Bulls of that Derrick Rose era who's international.
Can we point out,
they are doing?
Shout out that Will Perdue gave me his ring.
Oh my
that
God.
I got on my finger right here.
I'm going to cede my headset to somebody who actually was working more than me tonight. I sat next to him. He was like the cat on the laptop over there. I see Will Gottlieb is here, so I will cede my headset.
Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for having me. I see some familiar faces in here. Hi, Die Hard. No, Will, you get your job back. Come on now. Bye, guys.
Bye, Layla.
Bye, Layla. Good to see you.
We know her. This is the coolest thing ever, man. Intro. Go talk.
Go talk.
That's where it's the go. The goat.
Joining us on the In Real Life, sitting right here, Go Talk Hotline. We're doing a Bulls home game, post game from a suite, and Goat is right here in person. What's up, buddy?
Boy, how was pinky?
Everyone's just getting a pinky flash from baby. How was your night of work on Derrick Rose Night? Because we were just up here hanging out with some of our diehards in the suite, eating delicious food, drinking some delicious beers, and you were like working.
I was working.
So how are you?
I'm good. I've been trying to figure out how to put this into words, because it's like a weird thing for me to talk about, right? Like,
How so? Weird for you?
Because I'm like from the Chicago area. I grew up a Bulls fan. Derrick Rose MVP year was my senior year of high school. It was like a big deal, as you guys know. I mean, it was huge. That was all I cared about.
Yeah.
But now doing this job and being around the team every day, you're not like allowed to be a fan.
You're not.
And I know, and I'm really like not anymore. Like Derrick Rose kind of was the last vestiges of my fandom of this team, because you go through covering the team every day, being around the players, covering other teams around the league and being around those players. And it's just not the same. And it's not to say like I don't, like we talk about what should happen with the Bulls and like what I think they should do and all that stuff. It comes from a place
of
being
someone who loves his Jimmy Dean in the morning to someone who sees how the sausage is made.
Yeah, and it comes from a place of like wanting to ultimately see them do well, but it's not like a fan in the sense that like I'm excited about any of these players because like I know them as people.
Right.
And it's like it's a very weird thing, and I'm still navigating it, but Derrick was my last favorite player. And so to see him have this honor, to see him and be sitting in front of him at the podium where I normally sit in front of Billy Donovan and Kobe and Zach and whoever else, it was weird. It was a strange experience because it's very much separate from that part of my life when I was a fan to now where that's just not really the case anymore. And so it was strange. It was like kind of a cool door closing moment. And I think that was probably the case for Derrick too, where, and he talked about like the tough love of this city. And we can all sit here and think about the good times and the MVPs and all that stuff and the injuries even, but like towards the end there, it got a little sour and it got a little tough. And so I'm really glad for him that one, he is like completely at peace with who he is.
That's what Joe Keane said too. He said the thing he's most proud of and most happy about is that he came through this whole journey at peace.
Right.
With how his career turned out, with how his life turned out. Yeah. I mean, he's just very much at peace, and so I think this moment was always going to happen. We learned about the retirement jersey retirement. That was always going to happen, right? There was never any real doubt about that. Yeah. But to actually have it happen, I thought was just very cool to witness. Yeah. And a cool, like, you know, end of that chapter of Derrick being a professional basketball player, of me being a fan of Derrick and that Bulls team. Like, it felt kind of like a closing of that chapter. And it was just a cool experience all around.
I mean, did you have something?
I did.
I was going to say the GOAT was burying the lead, but you go ahead.
No. Well, actually, I wanted to know about the press conference.
Yeah, I just made it all about me. Sorry.
No, we wanted to hear about
I was about to make it more about you.
Yeah. But we wanted to hear more about you, man. But I wanted to know about the press conference, hearing from Tibbs, hearing from Billy, hearing from Derrick. What stood out to you in that press conference?
I mean, all of it. Tibbs delivered just like banger after banger of quote, just like this man was so incredible. The fear that he struck into his opponent's eyes. Yeah. You could see it coaching him. You could see it being on the opposite sideline. Just that's who he was as a player. And like, obviously Tibbs has talked about Derrick before. He's coached him in multiple stops, all that stuff. But again, to have that on this night where it was really like the end, I thought was really, really cool. And then to hear from Derrick himself, just his kind of full circle moment. And, you know, I think a lot of people asked him about, you know, various points of his career, how he's doing now, how he felt about the jersey retirement. And like the question for me has always been and will always be like, what would have been? What could have happened if he had never gotten hurt? And so I asked him that, and he said,
such a flat. Go ahead. Such a flat.
And he said, like, I don't even think about that anymore. Like I used to think about that, but that was years ago. And I thought that really represented him being at peace with how his career went, what went down. And, you know, I think also when you talk about like, oh, missed opportunities, what could have been, like, I think that dismisses the greatest that we did see from him, right? I mean, he rose to the top faster than anybody, like ever. I mean, it was incredible.
Yeah.
And just because we didn't see the full career play out, the full prime, the full body of work play out the way that everybody sitting in the suite would have hoped, it doesn't mean that that first part didn't happen. And so I still place value in that. And I think Derrick obviously does too, but to hear him, like I said, really come to terms with it as that being the high of his career, even though maybe it could have been different. I just thought it was really cool to hear him have that perspective.
That's cool, bro.
So who was in that Derrick Rose press conference?
Don't do this, Matt.
Oh, do you think I would not do this?
I would think you would not do this.
Speaking of banger after banger, who came up to you after you asked Derrick Rose that
I just think
question and said to you, "Hey, that was a really good question."
Mike Breen.
Mike Breen!
Who I'm a big fan of.
Let's go!
The quaff!
But I do think that was like the question that all of us would want to know, right? Like, what would have happened?
You asked it.
I know, but like, it's not about like who asks questions. It's about like the answers and the possibilities. And I just thought Derrick's response to that was,
oh no, you
gonna
take this love.
I mean, your quaff father, Mark Kanowski, Let's asking Derrick the question that led to his "Why can't I be the MVP?"
Why
answer.
not?
Yes.
Why not?
Why not?
Go, but the questions matter because the questions get you the answers that you get.
Come on, man.
All right.
Come on, man.
I appreciate it.
Talk about the game real quick, bro.
I couldn't even like really watch the game. I mean, I was up here for a little bit during the third quarter, and that's really where things happened. But it was just there was so much other stuff going on that the game was very much secondary. I think that's a theme of this whole thing, and that's a conversation for another day. But Kobe breaking out of his slump, 9 of 11 on threes. We knew that was going to happen at some point. Did we know it was going to happen in the form of 9 of 11 on threes? Probably not.
We knew it was going to come.
But he was outstanding. Zach was incredible. It's crazy that no one wants to trade for Zach. He's so freaking good.
It's insane. He's so good, man.
But yeah, I mean, it was a great win overall, and I think a good bounce back from what was one of their worst, if not their very worst, loss of the year against Washington the other night.
When Mike Breen came up to you, did he have a glow?
All I could reply to him was just in bangs. Very. I threw out a double bang at him, a single bang.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Oh, well done. Well done. Not bad. Not bad.
You guys are insufferable.
What are you talking about?
Happy for you,
I love
man. Happy for you, man. This is the coolest thing.
This
ever,
is the
dog.
coolest thing. We are
Yeah,
sitting in a
coolest thing.
suite,
Yes.
as you guys,
pretty
I'm sure,
cool.
have talked about.
Yes, with the diehards
With the
hanging out,
diehards
man.
hanging out with
It's
us.
just been a cool
With Will
thing,
Perdue
bro.
and Layla
Did you
Rahimi.
get your dessert cart?
I did not get a dessert cart.
Mr. Sweet Tooth?
Unfortunately.
It came in the first quarter, so he
Yeah, I
wasn't
missed
able
it.
to get that.
You know, probably for the best. It's
Probably
That's okay.
probably for the best, man. Dude, that is cool, man. And I mean, not only did you got to see Derrick Rose, but Tibbs. You know what I'm saying? On top of that, and just I've heard Tibbs say what he said tonight at least 5 times. You know what I mean? About the fear that Derrick Rose put in his players or put in opposing players. And he talks about how he should be that Hall of Fame guy. Something that you wrote about also as well, his article. Check out Will's new article. So hearing all that stuff and watching all this, man, what will you take away? You know, from you got Mike Breen. You know what I mean? You saw Tibbs.
I mean,
like,
it was
you
just
saw D-Rose. Like,
it
what
was,
are you taking away from this?
I think it was just like I kind of said, at the end of the Rose era, the frustration of him not being able to come back, the frustration of the amount of the cap that he was taking up and not being able to bring in like real alternatives, and the frustration of like capping out at the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
It just like it got sour at the end, and so I'm glad for all the fans here and for the city of Chicago and for the organization to have that end on the terms that ended on, which were great terms. I mean, I thought they did a remarkable job with the atrium and the exhibit there. Just like all the details. I mean, like the trim was all like bouquets of roses, the 1-4-25. I mean, it was a really nice night overall. And I think, Derrick got emotional on stage. Like I thought everything was very well done.
Did you see Matt with Joe-Keefe?
Did you?
Picture, right?
No. I'm talking about what.
I'm talking about burying the lead.
Watching him down there while I was up here.
Right there. Right.
Well, I will say this. I saw Matt, obviously in Paris,
flex.
Yeah.
Have the moment with Joakim, and that was
go see me actually hug
that was
Joakim for real.
That was next level.
I was sending him hugs from up here.
Yeah,
because I mean, man,
I'm sure he felt them.
The thing that got me the most tonight, and there was a lot of stuff that was tugging at the heartstrings all night. Even watching just some of the highlight packages they played in timeouts. Yeah, like in the middle of.
It's so funny watching those because it's like you've seen them so many times, and you just want there to be more or new ones, but they're all the same, and they're still like incredible, and like. You still are just amazed at that actually happened.
Blown away.
Such a remarkable talent.
Blown away. Yeah, but the thing that got me the most was after Joakim finished his remarks and Derrick got up out of his chair and seeing the two of them embrace after everything that had been said, like and everything, all of the like the emotional anticipation of tonight. To see those two guys, and we also got that great little like mini episode that the Bulls put out earlier this week of the two of them sitting in the film room together. You knew that Derrick and Joakim moment was going to happen tonight, and like
they're the perfect combination. I mean, it's like peanut butter and jelly. It's like they brought the best out of each other. They were each other's foils. They complemented one another. They needed each other. Derrick, I mean, Joakim even said like as much confidence as he seemed like he didn't have any confidence compared to Derrick. Like they just were the perfect pair. Truly. And so I thought it was great that Joakim was down there on stage with him, and then obviously Stacey and Neil. Yeah, the whole thing was just really well done.
You saw Neil Funk, bro?
I didn't get to meet Neil, unfortunately. I'm a big Neil Funk fan.
Okay,
maybe next time. Maybe next year when they retire his jersey. Who knows?
Yeah. We've always got Derrick retirement night 2.0, 3.0, 4.0.
Stay there, man. It's all good. No, we stay right. We're gonna stay right here.
I've been so well behaved tonight, Dave.
And I
so well behaved.
And I'm very appreciative of that.
when
I'm not trying to mess up Ghost Spot.
No, that's not what we're here to do. I was very proud of Bulls Nation when Joakim Noah started thanking the actual owners. And you felt that lull kind of in the crowd for a second.
Silent.
And I was sitting up here like, y'all better shut up.
You heard, I heard a couple of distant, far off.
Yeah, but it was smatterings. It wasn't overwhelming. And I was like,
I'll tell you, I've seen overwhelming.
Sweet pea.
That was not overwhelming.
Correct. Exactly.
And I've seen overwhelming.
We've seen overwhelming before. So I was okay with that. I thought everybody was very well behaved on this.
Big Dave did tell everyone in pregame to be on their best, like behave yourselves.
My man.
Yeah,
I believe he said, "Hey, all you cynical folk out there."
Yeah. Will Perdue was very shocked at how I responded in the pregame because I was quite like, "Hey, man."
Yeah.
Hey, did you guys do Goon of the Night yet?
No,
tonight.
Katie just reminded us that we need to do that because we got to get out of here. So let's do Goon of the Night, and then we'll get out of here.
You want to see the man?
To be the man, you gotta beat the man now.
Empire Today presenting Goon of the Night because I didn't know no matter what. 580 to 300.
Empire
Today.
Oh, slap with the ring. Thank you, Kat. So, Goon of the Night. We didn't have the belt, but the belt, you already know what it looks like. You know what greatness looks like.
Safely back in the studio.
Very safely back in the
Didn't
studio.
want to risk wearing that
We
here.
didn't really want to risk that. You know what I mean? It's Derrick Rose Night. We didn't want to take no
I got to
time.
tell you guys something. Goon of the Night was the last thing I was thinking about. I need some time. Somebody else
Take
go
your time,
first.
man. I got this, Will. I got you.
Go first.
Man, Peck. Goon of the Night. Talk to me.
Derrick Rose.
Mm-hmm.
Derrick Rose.
That's it.
The reason we're all here.
Mm-hmm.
It's the reason that I think you and I are friends and colleagues. It's the reason that we are now also friends and colleagues with GOAT. It's the reason that everybody's here hanging out tonight.
It's really the reason we're all here.
He invigorated a fan base and reinvigorated some older generation parts of this fan base who had grown stale and disappointed with this team. Perdue was kind of saying similar things in our pregame show. And for a younger generation, watching Derrick Rose, the hometown kid, do what he did throughout his entire career, but especially those beginning moments, meant everything. And it made the people who love this team even more obsessed with this team. Derrick did that.
It's true.
And tonight is honoring him. He's going tonight.
It's true.
Obviously.
DJ Katie. Just tell me.
Tell
Just
us
say
who
it.
it is.
Derrick Rose. She goes with Derrick
I
Rose.
was hoping it was going to be Taylor Horton Tucker.
I did too. She loves the THC. She loves the THC Goon of the Night. That's very true. She enjoys it, but she's going with a young Derrick Rose.
I mean, it's Will the Gottlieb. Excuse you.
Will the Gottlieb?
Excuse you very much.
Yes, I call him Will the Gottlieb. It's all right. No. Will the Gottlieb.
I don't know why it took me time to think about this. There's one answer, and that answer is Derrick Rose.
You just had to make a
He
dramatic pause.
was the ultimate Goon of the Night.
Yeah, it's true. Well, the votes are in. They are cast. Ladies and gentlemen, Goon of the Night goes to it's Derrick Rose. Like, who else could it really go to? Seriously, man. This is why we're all here. This is why we showed up. This is why we in this cool suite right here hanging out.
Damn.
Like, this is why Layla Rahimi is hanging out. Like, this is why Will Perdue is there. Like, it's Derrick Rose, man. This is what we're here for. He meant a lot. I never got a chance to see Derrick Rose play in person at a stadium before. No,
Really?
Never got a chance.
Did you see him pregame? Does that count?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why this counts to me. That's why this is so important of a night for me, man. And it didn't disappoint.
It really
on
didn't.
any level. Derrick Rose showing the love that he had, the emotion that came with that, man. It's just everybody who stood out, like just coming from different countries and continents to show up here just for one guy, just lets you know how important he is to them and how important he is to this city, man. So Derrick Rose, ladies and gentlemen, is your Goon of the Night.
Hit it.
Well,
Real fanfare, play us off.
Well deserved. Thank you, everybody, again, who came out to hang out with us at the CHGO Top Shelf Takeover, hanging out in the suite, like living that VIP life.
What a cool thing.
What an experience.
This is awesome.
What an experience.
Pretty awesome, bro.
Shout out to the Bulls for letting us do this. That was very
shout
kind
out.
of them.
Thank y'all.
Also, shout out to them for letting us stay late to do this post-game show.
Double shout
We
out.
were about to get out of their hair, but like, dude, look behind me. There's like 3/4 of a Blackhawks rink already. Back there.
Amazing.
The United Center staff, shout out to them. They work hard. They kept us well taken care of tonight. And shout out, of course, to our social media queen, Emma. Shout out to Patrick for working his, took us off like early in the morning. Shout out
with
to
that first Corinthian leather.
Shout out to Steven for being here and helping out in every way he could, helping Katie along with her first live remote show.
And shout out to all the diehards who joined us. This is awesome. I'm
awesome.
very appreciative and
It's
grateful.
awesome, man.
We showed up.
We just
there
showed
are
up.
no shout outs to us needed.
We showed up.
We're here.
For Will to go Gottlieb, read his stuff, allchgo.com. Become a diehard to read all of it and the very best of it. Following Will _Gottlieb. Big David's a bow, BNW Sports. Bow. Uncle Will, 4-time champ, still here, off screen. Will _Perdue 32. Shout out to him. It's cool to see how he operates on a night in the United Center. Man, I wish I could get Uncle Will's parking spot one time. One time. Give me one time. I want the parking spot. We gotta go. Okay.
Love y'all.
Thanks for tuning in to Post Game.
Peace. Derrick Rose.
See you Monday. See you, Red. Be good.
We out.
We all silly like the mayor.